Welcome to the Philippine Tax Academy's Gender and Development e-learning video. This video explores the importance of gender-fair language and how to utilize it. Language is important for several reasons. It articulates consciousness because it orders our thoughts from infancy, and it is used to express human beings' basic needs and feelings. Language is not merely a tool for communication. It is a mirror reflecting the values, beliefs, and traditions of a culture. It also affects socialization. Through language, we learn the norms of the society or group that we are part of and conform to these norms. A type of language is gender-fair language. It is used to reduce gender bias in one's mental representation or understanding of an idea. It emanates from its intention to address sexist and non-gender neutral language. But what is wrong with sexist language? Language as a signifying system is not inherently sexist. It is the use of language in a specific culture that may perpetuate sexist attitudes and beliefs. It influences the way we think, act, and relate to men and women. Sexism in language is demeaning. Sexist language is the use of language which devalues members of one sex, almost invariably women, hence forcing gender inequity. It discriminates against women and other gender minorities by rendering them invisible or trivializing them while perpetuating notions of male supremacy. In other words, sexist language refers to the words, phrases, or expressions used to discriminate against or demean individuals based on their gender. It often reflects and perpetuates traditional gender roles and stereotypes, contributing to inequality and bias in communication. So, one way to address gender issues is by using gender-fair language in communication. There are two aims of gender-fair language. The first is to reduce gender discrimination and stereotyping, which is the oversimplified and generalized belief about a particular group of people. The second is to minimize unnecessary concern about gender in subject matter, allowing to focus on what people do rather than which sex they happen to be. Moreover, there are two principal strategies of GFL: neutralization and feminization. Neutralization is achieved by replacing male masculine forms, policeman, with gender unmarked forms, police officer, whereas feminization relies on the use of feminine forms to make female reference visible, especially in traditionally male-dominated fields. The main aim of feminizing or neutralizing a language is to avoid the male bias in the interpretation of masculine linguistic forms. Using this framework helps in spotting sexist language. One way to determine that the language is sexist is when there is gender stereotyping or use of language that reinforces traditional gender roles. Another way is by using exclusionary language, wherein one uses male terms to represent people of all genders. Using unequal descriptors by focusing on physical or emotional characteristics of women and emphasizing characteristics and competencies for men is another indicator. Sexually objectifying a person by focusing on their sexual attributes in a context where it is irrelevant also serves as an indicator. Another is using gender-specific titles and honorifics. One other way is by using language subtly implying one gender is more capable than another. Finally, using diminutive forms or pet names for women. If any of these indicators manifest in the terms that you use, this term is considered sexist or non-gender neutral. It is important to avoid sexist language so we can promote equality, because using non-sexist language fosters gender equality and helps create a more inclusive environment. Reduce bias, since we would be reducing the reinforcement of stereotypes and biases that can limit opportunities and perpetuate discrimination. And respect and professionalize our environment, because non-sexist language shows respect for all individuals, enhancing professionalism and mutual respect in various contexts. Remember, not all commonly used terminologies are gender-fair. Here are some terms we can use to promote the principles of gender-fair language. Instead of using one-man committee, use one-person committee instead. Instead of using forefathers, use founders. Instead of saying manpower, say human resource, staff, or labor force. Here are other terms that you can substitute with sexist or non-gender neutral terms. Practice using these terms to promote the use of gender-fair language at work, at home, and in your everyday conversation with people. As an institution, PTA stands firm to its commitment in promoting gender-fair language, recognizing that inclusive communication is crucial in fostering a workplace that values gender equality, diversity, and social inclusion.